Hi, and welcome to Cujo Sound. Let's play a game, shall we? And let's talk about Baldurs Gate 3, simply because it's the latest game out there and it's been a long time coming, some really interesting audio things to talk about as well. Let's get started, and as always, this isn't about bashing the game, finding bugs, or discussing why something is bad. It is to discuss why audio is the way it is, and why audio implementation is the way it is, and maybe why it's not in a certain way. But first off, a bug. Just because it's not audio related. Playing on Vulkan enabled probably removed my mouse cursor, so I should probably just play this with DX11. Obviously this is not an audio bug, but it's always a good start on release day that a game has something on the very first thing that you do. Playing before the hotfix patch came in, so this is version 4.1.1.36222274. There's a reason for this, because I heard about a bunch of issues and I would really like to play it before they get fixed in a different patch. The audio clips here and there, especially if going in and out of the game full screen mode. This seems like a lost voice count, clipping certain voices when overloading on processing instead of killing the voice. I do notice that this doesn't happen persistently and happens especially if you've been going in and out of the game or similar. So the mere reason for this could be a CPU overload on some thread that might not be related to the game itself. But then overloads onto whatever audio is currently loaded. Or the audio is run on the wrong thread, but I doubt that's the case. First scene has great 3D ambient audio. You can hear rotation during the moving of the camera. This, even for an isometric or top-down game, gives a great sense of 3D space, with certain sounds moving around the soundscape while others don't, because it's a 2D bed.
What? I feel better.
Cinematics are weirdly quiet in many places. This can of course be an aesthetic choice, but I have to say, if someone sent this in as an application for a job, a lot of questions about the silence parts would be asked, or not even asked. If this is a bug or sounds are missing, then of course, all good. Inventory, different sounds for each item. Turn-based mode on off, nice timing sounds. Clearly directional voices to guide you towards 3D spaces, audio sources around you. That makes the game feel quite dynamic, and clearly it is design choice to guide the player around. Narrating voice is great.
1,000 years of humanoid history, elves, dwarves, humans, and more flash behind your eyes.
One thing I noticed is that it's quite funny that reverb continues if you go in and out of the game. Meaning the sound engine is muting everything playing, but not stopping the reverb buzz. By selecting the mute when inactive option in the menu, this becomes irrelevant, either as the game is using the Windows option to simply mute the entire game by blocking its audio driver, or it sets a state in the game that says it's now inactive and mutes all sounds, or some RTPC is controlling this. The state and RTPC option would be much likely what is happening here, because it seems like this doesn't happen on the reverb buzz. And if the driver was completely blocked, you wouldn't hear reverb anyway. Also, have in mind that I know that this game is made with Glass's engine, the Larian in-house engine, and they're using Wise. When entering the menu, a state sets a state menu on, lowering the volume of everything, but seemingly lowering dialogue more and more over time.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the spring.
So a state might be doubled on main audio and on the dialogue's mixer or bus, but slower on the dialogue mixer or bus, therefore sounding more muffled over time rather than the music, which seems to cut into a muffled mode instantly. Voices of other characters muffled slightly when any UI overlay is active. UI overlay active state to handle filtering of voices, meaning that the player in many situations will actually only hear muffled voices from NPCs, meaning that any voice triggered automatically after combat or cinematics in many situations will be muffled.
Eager for battle. Quickly then.
Issue with this is that if several states are active and muffling are also messed up over time, then the settings are applied twice in the hierarchy, and the effect is double, triple, or even worse. Gameplay thing here. I can add items to a container that is locked, and then I can't retrieve them again because I don't have the key. That's plain stupid. Anyway, that's it for this game. In the next video, I'll have the game updated and see if I can spot some major differences. All in all, I find the mix a little odd, like not very compact, and certain sounds are in 3D realm. Seems like they're awfully sensitive to the rotation of the camera. The glitchy sounds of the processing overload must be a new issue, as else it would definitely not have been passed QA. Or, at least, it would have to be an issue that isn't easily solved, though an issue of the size would definitely be marked as a P0 bug, aka a full blocker, not suitable for any kind of release. The dialogue has a nice touch to the few lines of dialogue we've heard so far, though really strange how it seemingly ducks more than ambience whenever an overlay UI item is active or the game is paused. The sound design seems really good, but the mix in the dynamic range seems to jump around a little. Like either the game isn't mixed at all really, or at least not properly, or some issue came up which ruined it in the process later. The general occlusion of sounds when navigating around could also be a factor, that it's too aggressive and something that makes the mix jump around like that. Perhaps a technical issue, perhaps there's a directional reason, but it will be interesting to see how the game changes after the latest hotfix and further updates the game. Thank you for watching this video about Baldurs Gate 3. This is an early version of the game on release date. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did indeed like this video, why not hit the thumbs up? And if you want to see more content like this, you can always subscribe to the channel. If you want to support this channel and the time I take off to create this content, you can support me over at patreon.com/Cujo Sound, where you for as little as $1 a month can help me sustain this channel. This is Bjørn Jacobsen saying goodbye for now. Have a nice day. Oh wait, hey Google, subscribe to Cujo Sound on YouTube.